Hey everybody, November 10th. Here we go. Starter, please. I like this question. Okay, this question is all about the close reading strategies and the order of close reading strategies. So take a look at this. This is incredibly important. What is the first thing you do when I give you a document? When you go to DBQ, you go to document A, you go to the background essay, whatever it may be. What is the first thing you need to do? And I want you to go ahead and choose that now. Right? Do you number the paragraphs? Do you read through it each paragraph? Do you read through the document one time? Do you write the main idea and hashtag the main idea in the margin? Or do you rainbow highlight? Okay, then what is the second thing you need to do? The third, the fourth, and the fifth. Okay, so make sure please that you do that well. Okay, all right, let's get that, make sure you're doing that now. I'll give you a couple, I may give you a minute or two. Okay, now that you're done with that, let's transition to the summary page, please. Summary November 10th is going to look very similar to November 9th. Okay, very similar to November 9th. Take a look. We're going to determine the causes of World War I. Okay, same thing, North Carolina Standard Course of Studies, the same. We're going to use primary and secondary sources to help us interpret various historical perspectives. Unit is Europe, statement of inquiry, ideology, impacts, interactions. Okay, so again, if you look at that and you have this idea that a government's role is to go to war more easily if you are attacked or potentially attacked by a country. Those ideas and beliefs will lead you to have these interactions with other countries. Okay, so that's just the way that it relates as we're talking about World War I. So asynchronous work is the starter, which we've done. We're going to work on the background essay, and then November 10th, ticket out the door is the last thing we'll do today. Your asynchronous work is to complete the background essay. Hopefully you get that done, most of that done in class today, but it probably won't be all of it. Okay, just giving you a heads up. So here we go, let's transition. Okay, so with that being said, let's go to DBQ project, please. Go to the assignments, go to click on what was the underlying cause of World War I, and then go to the background essay, please. And I'll model that for you. Please, please, please stay with me. Okay, so I'll go to I'll go through that whole process again. Clever. From there, the red square, DBQ Online, is for the DBQ project. And then for me, I have to go to classes and assignments, but you should have an assignment section there. And then you'll see what was the underlying cause of World War I. Okay, here we have the cover that we did. Then we have the hook that we did, talked about when is it okay to go to war? When are you justified to declare war against another country? And that brought out definitely some really good discussion. And here we are in the background essay. Okay, here we are on the background essay. So, step one, I want you to read through this document one time. I'll give you a couple minutes to do so, probably 3 minutes to do so. Okay, so go ahead and do that now, because that's always the first step. Hopefully you got that right on the starter. First step is read through the document one time. Okay, so go ahead from top to bottom, read through this document. All right, now that you've done that, okay, the next step is to number the paragraphs. Number the paragraphs. So here we go. We can do this together. You can kind of start going at your own pace a little bit. All right, I'm gonna use, I'm just gonna write on it. Okay, you can use a sticky note, whatever works for you. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh man, looks like we got 7 and 8, right? 7 and 8. Okay. So we've numbered the paragraphs. Now we reread each paragraph on its own, and we're just going to do the first few together, and then you got to do the rest for your asynchronous work. Okay. So take a look here. Let's go up to the very first paragraph. At the turn of the 20th century, Europe was feeling pretty darn good. It controlled empires that circled the globe. Its technology was unsurpassed. Its art and music were the envy of the world. In 1900, Europeans believed the world was their oyster. All right. So now let's look at that. Now we got to go through and break that down a little bit. Let's do our highlighting, our rainbow highlighting, because that is the next step. Okay, rainbow highlighting. So I'm looking at that. The turn of the 20th century. That's around right around the 1900s, right when it turned into the 1900s. Europe, I'm going to refer to Europe here, sounds like a group of people to me, was feeling good, right? Feeling good. It controlled empires. Wow, what did I do? Empires, maybe orange, okay? That circled the globe. I'm going to do location. So they're controlling areas all throughout the world. Its technology was unsurpassed. Its art and music were the envy of the world. For me, that's like the world is talking about like a group of people, like the world. In 1900, Europeans, group of people, believed the world was their oyster, which seems kind of silly, right? But it was theirs to control, theirs to have, okay, theirs to take over, okay? So if we're looking at that, that's the first paragraph. The next thing we have to do is do our hashtag main idea. Okay, if I'm looking at that, I'm going to hashtag it dominant Europe. Okay, you can use a post-it note if you want, right? A sticky note, a text box, or just write it. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to just write it here. That's too wide. Okay. Dominant Europe. Okay, so I'm going to do for my first hashtag there. I got to delete these post-it notes though. Okay. They'll let me delete them. Okay. All right, that's what I'm doing for the first one. Okay. Now I want you to literally, I mean, that's probably all that we'll do together, because I want you now to take the time to do that for the remaining 8 paragraphs. 8 paragraphs means you need to have 8 hashtags. In fact, let's actually do 9, because here's what I'm going to do. I want y'all, let's look at the diagram. Let's look at the diagram. Okay. All right. Let's highlight it and then come up with a hashtag for it, even though we don't have it marked as a paragraph. So, because this is really important. Austrian leaders, group of people. Okay. Oh man, I got it. Okay. Austrian leaders demanded apologies from Serbia. For me, Serbia is a group of people here. Okay. An angry Serbia group of people received a promise of help from Russia. Promise, help, Russia. July 28th, Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia. And again, for me, these country names, for me, that sound like a group of people, not necessarily the boundaries or the location. They're talking about the group of people collectively. So that's why I'm doing purple for those. Then Russia, the next step, declared war on Austria-Hungary. You see these steps, right? You see these arrows? Those arrows kind of represent how the actions lead into each other and cause the next one to occur. Then Germany, after that, it's getting crazy. Germany declared war on Russia. Then France declared war on Germany and Austria-Hungary. Then Britain joined an alliance with France and Russia. At that point, Europe, it's kind of a location. I'm going to do both, right? I'm going to do both for this one. Was at war. I'm going to do a hashtag here. Stay with me. Okay. Hashtag Domino's. Not pizza. Okay, not pizza. Let's clean that up a little bit. Hashtag Domino's, because one leads to the other. I clean that up over here too. Move this over here. Hashtag dominant Europe. I made it. It's a little bit easier for y'all to see. Okay. So now your asynchronous work is to go through and complete that for. You need to go to paragraph 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And that's kind of your independent work. So I don't need to necessarily keep you. I will stay on for a little while though, just to make sure everybody's good. So now what I need you to do is let's look please at the ticket out the door. Pretty straightforward today. What is the objective? What unit are we studying? What is the statement of inquiry? And what is your asynchronous work today? Okay, once you complete that, you're good to go. Please let me know if you have any questions in the chat.